I would like to just talk about the numbers, about businesses. You know, numbers are not the enemy. They shouldn't actually be scary because actually numbers are the heartbeat of businesses and they're the language of business. I've never known anyone to produce an invoice for, say, and only have words on them. For some reason, there's numbers because people actually have to pay the bills as well because money flows through business. So numbers are actually the language of business. For some reason, business owners get scared with them. They say they're not an accountant or they're not a bookkeeper or they outsource it to someone else. You should never outsource something that you don't understand. After all, it's your business, it's your goals, it's your desires, it's your wealth, and you outsourcing that to someone else, well, that's just plain stupid, can I just say. Learn it. All you have to do is learn the high-level stuff if it's not in your wheelhouse. It's easy to do, and just like your own body, you only have to monitor the vital signs. You have a heartbeat, good stuff. You need oxygen, yay. And also you have blood pressure, 10 out of 10. So once those are out of skew, well, then you start doing investigation. That's the same with your business. You actually only need to understand 5 macro numbers every week just to take a vital sign reading on your business. And they are cash at bank, fixed overheads, your debtors. Then you're going to have a look at your gross margin and then your net cash flow. You see, the cash flow is the heartbeat of the business. And as I said before, the numbers are the language. The 5 numbers are actually the 5 main numbers that keep you solvent, keeps you on point of where your business is going. And then if it's going off track, it's a precursor. So therefore you can get the information in front of you to be able to delve in bigger, deeper, to find out what the problem is. So it avoids the train hitting you. It gives you runway, lead time to understand where your business is going, why it is going. You see, understanding your numbers, listening to your numbers, gives you foresight, gives you clarity. And that's what all this is about. So we start with a weekly rhythm of 5 numbers. So let's talk about cash at bank. Of course, everyone looks at their bank account. That's obvious. But if you're only looking at the cash at bank, you're missing the point. It is only one of the 5 main numbers that you need to understand. Cash is actually the oxygen of the business. We get that. So if you've got a sales department or a marketing department that are saying, oh, yeah, but we're going to get this coming in. Yeah, no. Too bad, so sad. Actual cash in the bank today is what matters, and that's all that matters. I teach not just cash at bank, I teach net cash. And you might think, well, what the hell is she talking about? Well, you see, something called the ATO. The ATO has got you doing their work for them free of charge. And what you actually have to do, you've got to generate an invoice, you put GST on it, and you collect their money for and on their behalf. Great, but you're not allowed to spend it. And if you accidentally do spend it, they get really angry and they penalise you. And actually the general interest charge right at the moment is 10.78%. So rather than being thankful for you doing their work for them free of charge, no, they actually penalise you. So net cash means available cash to you, excluding the GST, because it's actually not your money. You have collected it for and on behalf of the ATO. It is not yours. So therefore you need to quarantine it. Net cash also means, or available cash also means available money in the account, less the GST. Or if you have an overdraft, it is the amount of headroom that you have between what you have drawn and what you have available to draw through your overdraft limit. So cash is important. The other thing with net cash that I teach is that you should always have a floor limit. There is always unknown consequences that have. a bill that you missed, or something that comes up, an abnormal, you need to have a floor to cover off on those expenses. Now, what is that floor limit? Well, I got asked the other week, what would be that buffer zone, Elaine? And I just instantly said, well, 3 months. Of course it's 3 months. But then it also depends on the business that you have. If you are in a business of quoting and it takes 6 to 9 months to when the quote goes out for it to get, let's say, approved by a government department for the contract to be signed, well, that's 9 months out. That means you would need 12 months worth of money available to cover your fixed overheads, because the churn of your business is slower than someone else who might have like a weekly churn, or if you're a retail, it's a very short churn. The whole idea of floor limit is for you to have peace of mind, because what you need to consider and think to yourself, how long will I last if there was no more money coming in the bank account, if you had no more sales? That's very sobering. So to know that you have a buffer zone in place just gives you a little bit of peace of mind and gives you the ability to weather the storms.